Okay, the party is here in Cleveland, to Cleveland.
Back home.
How far from where you were raised are we right now?
We're about 25 minutes.
Was it Columbia Station?
Yep.
Right next to Highland, right?
Lorain County. No, it's right next to Elyria, basically.
Oh, is it Sheffield Lake area?
North of Sheffield.
Okay, gotcha.
No, south of Sheffield.
South of Sheffield?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Amherst, Elyria, Lorraine.
Like Strongsville, Columbia Station, Middle Heights, that whole area.
Okay.
Southwest Ohio. Southwest
of Cleveland.
Wrestling Club, yeah.
Okay, so you have had a long, successful MMA career, PFL.
Yep.
How many times did you win the PFL title?
Twice.
So you won it twice.
Yep.
You took this route that a lot of people don't want to take.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good route.
Yeah.
Financially, a very good route. A lot of guys are really into the UFC route. I think your PFL route is a pretty good route.
Yeah. I'm not against the UFC route whatsoever. I just felt at the time of when I was coming up, when it was World Series of Fighting and then turning into PFL, that was just the route that I took. And it was like, I call it the Eddie Alvarez route because he kind of took a different route through Bellator. Then he went to the UFC, then ONE FC. So I feel like there's still another option in there. The only thing I haven't done is the UFC yet, and I'm interested in it. I want to see if that's an option for me before I hang them up.
Are you 40 yet?
38.
38. Okay. So the body, obviously, if you're taking wrestling matches, the body's got to be in pretty good shape still.
I do a lot of work on it to keep it where it needs to be. I get a lot of chiropractic work done, a lot of stuff to keep it's mainly the back.
The back. The pounding, right?
Yeah, especially with wrestling. Wrestling's the hardest thing on your body. Like, I can do jiu-jitsu any day of the week, but for wrestling, you have to you got to maintain it. It's definitely a skill. That's why I admire guys like Burroughs who wrestle at the highest level, at the world and Olympic level, all the way up until now. He's either 36 or 37 right now. It's crazy.
The amount of MMA champions that are also Ohio State champions is stifling if you think about it. Ohio is a hotbed of, it's the heavyweight hotbed of the UFC.
Sure.
Obviously, Stipe's a state finalist in the state of Ohio. Mark Coleman, state champion. Kevin Randleman, state champion. Mark Kerr, state champion. That's just the heavyweights. Cody No Love, he's a UFC champion. He's a freshman state champion.
Oh, yeah.
But we've got a ton of pros, and not just the
We
UFC.
also have Tony Johnson, ACA in Russia. He was a champ there, heavyweight. Like, he's still crushing it out there.
Iowa State.
Yeah.
Honeycutt still fights.
Honeycutt,
but those I just named all time greats.
Yeah.
Think about the other guys the tier that you guys are at, who are. Dude, you've won the PFL 2 times. It's pretty incredible. You're a 2-time champion of the world.
For sure.
I believe they were $1 million payouts for both of them.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how you end up getting it, but it's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
When you take a different route,
It's definitely a good start to build yourself a future. Definitely.
When you win one of those tournaments, obviously that puts you in a situation where you can be financially stable. You don't have to go do a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You've been able to train full time, right?
Yep.
And your brother's a coach at DeSales. They were the runner-up in Division II in Ohio this year.
Yep.
He does a pretty good job with
100%.
CP Wrestling. You guys got a great thing going. He does that for a living. You fight for a living. I think everybody's always like, wrestling's going to end someday. I don't think it's going to end for the Palmer brothers.
I don't think so. Because I feel like once I'm done with actively wrestling, I want to coach. Not many people know, but I put my name in the hat for Kent State's head job. And
I didn't know that.
No. I don't have a huge history of coaching, but also it's a passion of mine. It always has been. I coached at Virginia Tech when I graduated from OSU. I stayed active with helping Storniolo at Northwestern, train for Big Tens, helping guys at OSU when I come back in town. And now that I live in Columbus, obviously OSU, that's always been my home. That's where I graduated from. But they have a huge plethora of great coaches there, and none of those guys are going to want to leave. So I still want to be in the room, still helping guys out, still making myself better. So I'm in the room all the time now, and obviously for this, I'm treating it like a fight camp, so I'm in the room every day.
How many days a week can you actually train wrestling compared to jiu-jitsu? It sounds like jiu-jitsu can be an everyday thing.
Yeah.
Because it's so much more, it's slower, methodical.
Yeah.
No one's trying to murder you for the most part. They're trying to, tap your joints out,
For sure.
choke you, right?
Yeah.
Which is very different.
Different type of pain.
And if you're smart, you'll tap out and fight another day, or
Exactly.
grapple another day. But how different is the pounding of Muay Thai, boxing, jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, gi, with the gi, no gi, I don't know all of it. Give me a break here.
I think all the other stuff is like the initial like bumps and bruises, but wrestling is like the body soreness. You don't get that in any other sport. So it's conditioning the body to be able to do that pounding every day. And like right now in the OSU room, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday is wrestling. Today was a strength and conditioning day. Obviously, with me being 38, I take 2 rest days out of the week. So my Wednesday and Sunday are my rest days during a camp like this. And every other day is training day.
You're a lunatic. You're going into Ohio State's room and training with 20-year-olds?
That's the only way to be able to compete against a chubby guy like Gomez.
You said it. You said it. Dude, what else? You had another. Izzy told me a crazy name you called. What's another name you had for him?
Burrito.
You called Mexican Olympian, All-American NCAA finalist Austin Gomez a burrito. That's what you called him. And you did he hear you?
He did. We were on the phone.
Okay.
We were on the phone with Izzy. So.
What did he call you back?
He didn't really have anything to call me back.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. He just said to get my ribs warmed up, and my ribs are going to be ready.
The guts.
We got plenty of good guys in the room, and I'm not too worried about that stuff, you know. And obviously he's competing all the time, and he's a great wrestler. I could go on and on about all the great things that he's done and what he continues to do, and he's training in a solid room in Michigan. Obviously, the team up north, it's not my favorite place, so we've got a little stuff going on with that, but you know what? I think it's going to be fun. It's obviously still competition. I treat it as competition, just like I did with my fight career, and I'm not taking myself lightly. So hopefully he doesn't take me lightly either. I hope he comes out, wrestles hard, and expects the same out of me.
The trash talk, the promotion end of it. Wrestling has done a horrible job for the life of wrestling in the modern era, since 1900.
It's taught to be a humble sport. You're not supposed to be, you're arrogant if you start talking trash or if you're confident in yourself. But I'm 38. Who cares? I'm still confident in myself. I train at the highest level every day. May not be just in freestyle wrestling, but I train at the highest level every day. So you're going to get the best version of me that I can bring out there.
The sport has really missed out on the promotion end of it, I think. To your point of you got to be humble.
Yeah.
Be humble. This, that, and the other. And I don't think.
But there is a way to be humble and still promote yourself and trash talk, and I think Bo's done a good job of that. Bo did a good job of that, especially coming from wrestling into MMA. And you can be cocky. Like if you're confident in yourself, you can be cocky. Some people take it as arrogance, but I just think it's promote yourself. That's the way it is.
I think your IQ is about 180 because you took this PFL route, and I'm like, why is nobody else doing what this guy did?
Yeah.
This guy's not drywalling. He's not plowing driveways. He's not a carpenter.
I am. I have a landscape company,
You
but
do.
I do that on the side.
Oh, thanks for dunking on me there. I appreciate that.
That's my side job, though.
But that's your side job,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
When you look at it, it's you don't have to go out and do it every day.
No.
You can hire employees to do it.
Exactly.
You're the boss, right?
Yeah.
So it's crazy to me that guys didn't think your route. I think it's a 180 IQ route.
Well, a lot of people didn't believe in it when it became a league. Because when I was in World Series of Fighting, I was the champ of World Series of Fighting with Justin Gaethje, Marlon Moraes. When it turned into PFL, those guys went into the UFC. I decided to stay. Some other guys pulled back because they didn't believe in the $1 million prize. And I was like, hey, I'm going to see what happens. I think my wrestling background, I can win 5 fights in 8 months to get this title. And that was the route we took, and that's how it worked out.
That's so grueling, dude. Did you think about it? Bo Nickel's only going to fight once or twice a year now at the level he's at. You're fighting.
I'm sure for him, though, he's chomping at the bit, though. Especially coming off a loss. Like, you want to compete to get that taste out of your mouth. So I know Bo is probably wanting to compete, but also he wants to get more improvements before he competes again. So, there is kind of, like when I took my first pro loss, I was 7-0. I lost to a guy who had a great record. I took a short notice title fight for World Series of Fighting, and I wanted to fight right after that loss. So, I made this mistake. I want to get right back in there, just like a match, right? You got to have a short memory in wrestling. If you lose in the semis, you're wrestling in 30 minutes again, and you got to win that next one to come back for third. So I think the wrestling mindset's the best thing you can have for MMA, especially coming off a loss.
Real American Freestyle, what do they got to do to get it right? Agon couldn't get it right. Obviously.
And I was in Agon too. I just don't know what on the promotion side of it didn't go right. You know what I mean?
Pro Wrestling, I thought they had a good product.
Yeah.
They had TV involved.
But I think
nobody
a lot
cares
of
about
it-
TV
a
that
lot
much
of it
anymore.
is building the story, right?
Yeah.
So you have to build these matches up. You have to create some animosity between each other because you have to get people to know that you're going out there to beat that guy. You're not just going out there to show up. You know, like there's a lot of guys that can talk all the trash they want, but they don't show up when it comes time to fight or to wrestle. So you got to have that. You got to be able to talk a little trash and go out and compete, show yourself out there.
You are a 4-time state champion in the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
You're an NCAA finalist, a Big Ten champion. You placed in the greatest weight class in the history of the NCAA tournament, in my opinion.
Yeah.
My humble opinion was 149.
Yeah.
2008. 2008, 149. Burroughs was third.
Yeah.
Who won the weight?
Metcalf.
Metcalf
Yeah.
won the weight.
He beat Jenkins.
Bubba Jenkins.
Yep.
I mean, dude,
Jenkins was winning the first period too. I think that pressure just
it's crazy.
carried over. Yeah.
It's crazy to think about the
And I
guys
lost
you've
to
wrestled.
Dustin. I lost to Schlater to a locking hands call, breaking him down with the legs in.
What did he
And
take,
so I
fourth?
he took 7.
He took you lost to Dustin Slater, or it was Dustin.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was the champ the year before, wasn't he?
Before, yeah. Insane.
Dude, people don't know your maybe the MMA community doesn't know your wrestling prodigy and your wrestling background.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good background.
Yeah. I mean, 4-time All-American. It's hard to get on the podium 4 times.
Not a lot of them walking around, just so
I
you know.
think there's more 2-time national champs than 4-time All-Americans. I'm not sure if that stat is still around, but when I was in college, that was a stat that was pretty important. Because you got a lot of 2-time national champs, but you don't have a lot of 4-time All-Americans that have done that. I mean, getting on the podium and having that consistency, even though I didn't get what I wanted in college, which would have been a national title, I feel like I'm so proud of being on the podium because, like you said, it's one of the greatest weight classes of all time. It was in 2008. So
I don't think there's any arguments coming at me.
No.
It was a great weight.
Yeah.
Burroughs was third.
Yep, Burroughs third, Caldwell fourth, Chirella, and Harvard.
JP O'Connor.
JP O'Connor, 5th and 6th.
Oh my God.
I mean, it was a
Every
stat.
guy who was an All-American was either a national finalist or a national champ.
Yes. And I was the only one that wasn't a national champion out of all those.
Or
no, Chirella.
I was going to say Terrell because he was a runner-up, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow. That's
He
incredible.
lost to Gillespie our freshman year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. or my
Wild.
freshman year. Crazy. Yeah.
This event being in Cleveland, what's that mean to you?
It's awesome. I haven't been able to compete in Cleveland since I was in high school. I didn't compete in Cleveland at all. We didn't wrestle any teams in Cleveland.
You wrestled at St. Edwards and got crazy splayed by Darian Caldwell.
No, that was Metcalf.
That was Metcalf.
Yep.
Wasn't you?
No.
You never wrestled
That was
at a duel at
Iowa
Ed's?
No.
That was Metcalf.
Yeah, it was Metcalf.
I love getting corrected.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Colin actually reminded me of that the other day because he said it was at like 10:30 in the morning on a Saturday. They had a dual meet after Iowa versus NC State, and the place just went nuts because nobody expected anything crazy to happen. And he said Feeney was the ref. Colin said Feeney was the ref, and he caught a ton of heat for it because I guess Metcalf had an elbow up underneath him. But who am I to say?
Fred Feeney gonna Fred Feeney. What he's gonna do what he does.
I know.
All right. How many kids?
2. I
Boy-
got a
boy-
4-year-old girl and a 2-year-old boy.
Oh man. How many Palmer boys are there? How many grandchildren does your son or your dad
Colin's
have?
son, Caden. My son. My youngest brother has 1 son, and then us 3 boys.
Any wrestling for the grandchildren yet?
Colin's son, Caden, he's at St. Vincent St. Mary. He's going to be a sophomore, so he wrestled this season. I think, obviously, he's part of the Hurley Palmer lineage, so they have wrestling in their blood. He does football. What's up, man? He does football. He does wrestling and baseball. He loves all sports, so I don't know if he's going to this year take wrestling more serious or what he wants to do with it, but I love that he's wrestling. I love that he's on the mats, and like Ryan Lang's helping him. The Hurley brothers are helping him. So he's got good people around him. It's just if he wants to make those jumps or not, you know.
Will Wayne the Pain be Matt's side?
God.
Will there be any antics by him at this promotion?
He'll be there for sure. I just hope he keeps it toned down just enough to where he doesn't get kicked out. because he got kicked out of like my second to last PFL fight.
Your dad has been kicked out of MMA fights, professional MMA fights.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a real thing?
You know Wayne the Pain?
Of course.
Yep. That's classic Wayne the Pain.
I love it. His name's not even Wayne.
No, it's not. But nobody knows him as Dwayne anymore. It was only Dwayne Palmer when everybody was messing with him on.
Well, you're in the movie. You were in the movie too, right?
Oh yeah.
What was the movie? Pin.
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 The movie. Yeah.
You're ripping shoulders out.
Yeah.
All right.
The good old days.
We got some people left here. You got anything else for me?
No. It's good to see you, man. It's been
great
a long
to see
time.
you too. I know. We haven't talked in a really long time.
know.
Not for a lack of. I'd love to talk to you, but
I know.
you're a
Just
busy
haven't been
man.
in the same place in a while.
You're busy getting bags, $1 million bags.
Trying. I'm gonna try and keep it up. I got to go out there and get this win first, and then see what's next after this match. We got a few matches on this deal, so I'd like to.
Oh, you signed? Okay, you inked a multi-match deal.
Five,
Okay.
and we'll see what happens.
August 30th.
August 30th, Wolstein Center. That's my only thing. Why are we at Cleveland State University?
I think there's some other things behind it. I think it's a Willie Saylor question.
Okay.
You can go battle it out over there if he's still upright.
I don't know where that guy is.
Yeah, that guy's probably in a bathroom somewhere.
Yeah, that little
losing his pizza. All right. Thank you for the time. The party is here. Good luck August 30th. Real American Freestyle.
Thank you. Can't wait.